Hello to everyone who is watching this video. I want to talk today about oneness, about Echad, about the oneness of God and the oneness of the universe. Now, we all say Shema every day, even multiple times a day. But what does it mean, Shema Yisrael Hashem Elokeinu Hashem Echad? That God is one. Now, the simple idea is that there's only one God. Fine. But it's a lot deeper than that. Echad is that, of course we know that there's only one God, but the entire universe, the trees, the ants, the people, the spirits, it's all connected directly to God. So basically, you can think of it of, there's God, and God has hundreds of millions of billions of trillions of channels that are going out to me, you, animals, trees, everything, every bria in this universe, and even further than this universe, like beyond, because God is everything. Everything is being sustained, and God breathes into each channel all of the time in order for it to sustain. Because if God would block any of the channels, either to me or to you or to anyone else or to anything else in this universe and beyond, that would cease to exist instantly. So with that said, is that, we live in a world where to be connected to Echad, to be connected to the oneness of the universe, which is the only truth, that's the only reality. Everything else is hakal hevel avulam. It's all lies and distortion of thinking, other people's perception of what they told us. Nonsense. Reb Nachman said, in order to learn Reb Nachman's Svurim, said you first need to understand that everything is a lie. Now people have a very hard time grasping this concept. What do you mean everything is a lie? I see this, I see that. Yeah, whatever you see doesn't matter. Your eyes don't see the truth of what's happening. So as long as you're operating of anything out of Echad, of oneness, of direct connection, there's a lie in your thinking, in your way of being, and etc. So now, when a person is living in his trauma, when a person is living in his head, he's not living in the truth. He's operating, he's seeing the world through his perception, which is distorted perception, because if it's not Echad, it's distorted perception. So let's say a person, it's not let's say, we're all dealing with this. A person has trauma from his Rebbe, Chayder, his teachers, or parents, or whatever it was. So now he's seeing the world through those eyes. And everything is a trigger based on the experience that is stored inside. Now it goes even further than just our experience in this physical world. It can be our ancestors, generational trauma, and ideas and thoughts don't only come from what we experienced in this lifetime. It can come from before, it can come from many other places. But to simplify everything, what does it mean that hakal hevel avulam? It's all lies. What do you mean it's all lies? Because if it's not through the consciousness of oneness and echad, it's not that there is one God. Beyond that everything is one, then it's distorted thinking. Same goes to business. When a person thinks that he is Weltschochem, you go around in the business world, every business guy is going to blabble away in shiel or to his friends or at home how smart he is, he figured it out. You don't understand how it works, how the banking system, and you got to take out loans because if you pay interest, you deduct the taxes, and that's the matrix. Yes, it's true that the system works like this, but if you're relying only on the knowledge that you know through the matrix, meaning through what you saw on TV or Netflix, and 99-point-something% of the world is operating through the consciousness of what the perception of what they've been taught, of what they saw on the TV, and they don't think for themselves. They can't really think for themselves because even thinking for themselves is a distorted lie. So the only way to filter everything and be in line with truth is to be connected to echad, to oneness. Now, I'm trying to simplify it, but it's not simple. B'chlal not simple. This is years and years and years of inner work, and it's not going to happen in a year or 2 years or 5 years, and it might even be a lifetime of work to filter through all this and to get the person to be able to see truth. And I'm not going to sit here and act as if I see the truth 100%, no. But at least I am on some type of a path where I could see the truth clearer than other people. And that is why I'm making these videos and I'm giving over this information. And you take it as you want it. You can, I'm crazy. I'm definitely crazy, that's for sure. Take it however you want it. I'm just here to put the information out there. So our mission is that we need to filter through. So number one is, if a person wants to go on to a path of truth, the number one step is everything is a lie. What do you mean everything? Yes, everything. Everything, every thought, the way you see anything and everything, even the Torah, everything is a lie because it's been given over to you through someone else's consciousness and perception, which is not necessarily the truth. Now, obviously, our rebbes or our parents told us that on, when you drink a cup of water, you make a shahakal. Okay, that's truth because there is no perception to it. It's a simple fact. You drink water, you make a shahakal. In the Chumash it says, "Vaydaber Hashem el Moshe Laimor." That's just giving over information, which is directly in the Torah, so that's truth. That doesn't have to be questioned. But the second there is a narrative, a perception. It's like this and like that. That's when you need to question it. And if that information isn't connected to oneness, to the ultimate truth of echad, then it's a lie. So now again, I'm trying to simplify everything because people don't have patience for 2-hour videos. So I'm trying to get through to the point, but this could have easily been a 5-hour video to break it all down. But so the idea that that we live in this universe and there's something out there that can fulfill us, Most human beings walk around, they're like, oh, if only if I would have that car, if only if I would have that house in that community, if only my parents wouldn't get divorced, and if only I wouldn't have grown up in that reality, and if only I would have a girlfriend or a wife that would love me, and if only blah, 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 then my reality would have been different. But those are all lies again. Everything that we're seeking outside of ourselves isn't connected to Echad. So everything we're seeking is already in us, because the channel to God is direct. God made us godly. God was like, I'm going to make humans just like me. So are we actually a God? Yes. Like, oh my God, you can't say that. Yeah, there's a bigger God than us, but God made us godly. So why aren't we just like God? So the reason for that is that there is blockages. We are way more powerful, are way more connected in the spiritual frequency world than we can think of. Today's day and age especially, there's so many blockages, there's so many lies. Our hearts and minds are so distorted on such crazy levels that it's almost impossible for a person to be able to see or feel any type of truth. So it's years and years and years of inner work and inner avoid to filter through, get rid of the lies. It can be 10, 20 years just to filter through our consciousness. But as we go on, as our consciousness, as we remove the lies from our consciousness, we can connect to Echad that we're always connected to. It's not like we need to learn how to connect to Echad. We're already connected to Echad. We just have a whole bunch of schmitz and garbage that doesn't let us connect to the higher self, to the higher God in us, which is the higher God, to the ultimate God. But yeah, human beings are what we can accomplish, what we can create, what we can do. There's no limit at all, because God gave us godly power, but we were left with bechira. God didn't want to give it to us for free. So God was like, oh, you want to think that you're your own God? You want to walk around in the world that I know how to do business because I figured out the system and like this and like that, and I know how to, get women, or I know how to run my life in a certain way and I'm in control. God is like, oh, go. Press the gas, enjoy. And that's when we bump into the wall and then we're like, oh, what happened here? Oh, what happened there? Because God wants to bring us back to Echad, to understand that you're godly, but you're not the God. You're not the actual God. The only way you can perform as a God is if you're connected to the ultimate God, to the Echad of everything. Wow, this is a lot of information, and Baruch Hashem, this is not me talking. I'm not some type of chucham that knows everything. I'm just on this journey, and I've worked very, very hard to remove the lies in my life, so I can see a little clearer than others. But it doesn't mean that everything I say is clear. And don't believe me. Please do not believe anything I say. You should do your own work, do your own research, do your own thinking. If you're relying on me for MS or anything, then you're already in a lying thing. I'm just a shliach of God to give over information I know, and whatever you do with it afterwards has nothing to do with me. So with that said, with that said, is besides of everything being a lie, I want to point out the main lie of the universe running. Most people believe that if only I would have $1 million or $100 million or $100 trillion or whatever, 78 buildings and residual income or whatever the illusion is, that then I would be fulfilled and I would have everything I need. But as soon as your need, your seeking is outside of yourself, even if your seeking is in a Rebbe, and even if that Rebbe is a true Rebbe, which most Rebbes today's days aren't on a path of truth for themselves. But I'm not here to mock Rebbes. I don't care about other people, other Rebbes. I care about the truth and I care about the oneness. But I'm just here to share information and to understand that as soon as you're seeking anything outside of yourself, which is outside of Echad, you're 100% going to hit a dead-end wall. If not today, if not tomorrow, in a year, in 2 years, in 10 years. And if we can't understand the idea of Echad, we are going to suffer from the day we're born till the day we die. Because everything outside of ourselves is suffering, and as soon as we connect within, there's healing, peace. Because when you connect it within, when you connect it to Echad, you don't need anything. You have the consciousness to understand that you already have everything. You already made it. There's nothing what to make. There's no goal to accomplish. Now, that doesn't mean you shouldn't have goals and accomplish goals. But if your faith is in the goal, it's already distorted thinking. It's distorted consciousness. So everything is within us. All the answers is within us. We already know everything. How do I know that? Because we're Echad. We're connected to direct. God has a direct channel to us. So the only problem is that when we are in our minds, now we're distorting the channel. We can't be connected to the channel. So then we go out to the universe and we think, oh, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that, and if only blame other people, and it's all an illusion. Why, when we close our eyes, we start tapping into ourselves? And why, when we open up our eyes, it's much harder for us to connect within? It's because the eyes see the lies. I'll say it again, the eyes see the lies. Yes, you see a real wall, a real refrigerator, a real person, but it's not Echad. It's because God left us with Bechira. He wanted us to have the free will. He wanted us to have the free will to choose. Are we going to choose that we are the gods and we are the ones that control and make everything happen? Or there's only one. There's only one to be connected to. There's only one Echad. There's only one frequency that is truth, which is Echad. There's only one truth. Teachers and teachings are many. There's many Rebbes. There's many ideas, there's many philosophies. There's only one truth. And what truth is that? Echad. That everything is one, everything is one, everything is one. It's all within. Nothing outside you will fulfill you, can give you anything. Now, unfortunately, for whatever reason, most people never get to any path of truth in their lifetime. Why? I don't know exactly, but if everyone could have got it, there wouldn't be any point of living in spirit. So the point is, to summarize all this video, is as long as we're seeking, as long as we are in our minds, as long as we are in our hearts, in our emotions, which are, emotions in our heart is eternally connected, the feelings, we have a distorted view of reality, of truth. But once we can step out of our traumas, step out of our minds, step out of hearts. So what happens? Each of these steps can take years and years to do. But, we got to start at some point, at somewhere. But once we can get out of our minds, and get out of our hearts, get out of our emotions, what are we left with? The only thing that's left is spirit, our soul, echad. And boom, that's where we fly. That's where we take off. And that is the journey to truth. And that is the only journey worth exploring. Making money and having a nice house. It's not like spiritual people don't get to have a nice house and a nice car. That's the thing, because people that are spiritual, because they don't need anything, sometimes God gives it to them anyhow. Or they dafka stay away from materialism and luxury things because they don't want those things to distort their consciousness. To finalize everything, it's simple and very complicated at the same time, but it's all lies. It's all lies. Nothing is true. Nothing that anyone is telling you is true. Not even what I'm saying is true. If you don't feel within your inner spirit that what I'm saying is true, then don't believe it. Just don't. Especially in today's day and age, with technology and the world evolving at such a rapid speed, it's much easier and common to be further away from the truth. But there's a simple answer to get the truth. To number one, understand everything is a lie. Hakol hevel avulam. You walk around in Bar Park in Williamsburg and Vegas and Miami, wherever it is. Lies, 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 lies. Bitcoin lies, stock market lies. It doesn't mean that you shouldn't have those things, that you shouldn't invest and you shouldn't do this. You could do it, but you need to understand that it's a lie. And you understand that we live in a universe that everything is a lie. But once our thinking is truth, once our thinking is connected to echad, we're like, okay, everything is a lie. The banking system, the governments, even the within the religious world, distorted lies over lies over lies over lies. But if we can be connected to spirit, if we can be connected to echad, we can play around with the lies. Meaning, as soon as I know that someone is a liar, right, I can listen to his lies because I know you're a liar, right? And I can, it's not going to make a difference, right? So I can still buy real estate, I can still buy Bitcoin, I can still be out there in the world and communicate. That's our avoida. We're in a world of lies, and we need to, so we need to ground ourselves. And if we're grounded, if we're strong, in the sense of Echad, if our channel to Echad is clear, the lies don't matter. You know? And it doesn't matter, you know? It doesn't matter if I have 20 bitcoins or not. It doesn't matter if I have 75,000 real estate apartments or not. Because, you know, I don't need it. I don't need it and you don't need it. Because the fact that we're human beings on this world and we have consciousness and God is breathing into us life every single second, we already made it. We already have everything. Everything else is whatever. Yes, no, doesn't matter. But we think that it matters so much that we spend our entire day and energy chasing what we think is going to fulfill us. But nothing out there can fulfill you. Only the consciousness and the connection and the frequency to Echad will fulfill you, because that's the only fulfillment. That is what gives you breath every single second. Don't you understand? Don't you get it? Yeah, and I understand that people don't get it, because I also didn't get it for most of my life. But I'm making these videos because I'm hoping and praying that, you know, if someone else's consciousness can evolve, if my information can help you evolve, I mean, it's not my information that's going to help another person connect to Echad, because that whoever's watching this video, you're already connected to Echad. You just have distorted beliefs, lies within your head, heart, mind, body, that doesn't let you connect to the ultimate truth. So, in order to really get there and experience that, there's a lot of healing to do. There's a, you know, just watching this video is only understanding it intellectually, but that doesn't help. The avoida is to embody it and to really clean out the channel to be able to be connected to Echad. But that is the journey of life. That is the spiritual journey. That is why we're all here. What do you think you're here in this universe to do? To buy real estate? To buy Bitcoin? Generational wealth? As if we have the power to make sure that our grandchildren will be wealthy? It's all an illusion. It's all a psyop. I mean, it's clear. Anyone with a right mind understands money is especially nowadays, just being printed. Nothing is real. It's like you buy a piece of property, you know, you get a deed. The government tells you, oh, this is yours. What do you mean? It's God's. The whole entire universe is God's. And so it's all mine. It's all mine. It's all God's and it's all mine. I don't need a deed for it to be mine. Now, of course, I'm not going to go into someone else's house. But, you know, if I go take a hike in the forest, I need this forest to be mine. I need a deed for me to take a hike in the forest. No. God's like, I made this beautiful universe for the human being, for the human consciousness to enjoy. Now, of course, you know, we need a house to live in, so, and we live in this world of delusion. So, okay, so I gotta go and buy a house or rent a house, and I need to make some money to pay for it. But don't think that that is the truth. I mean, you could think it, you know. Hit the dead-end wall, and that's what a midlife crisis is. People realize by the 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, that all their energy, all their life, all they were doing is chasing a lie. Just not true. And they have it all within themselves all along. And it's a very painful realization to realize. So that the earlier we start this journey, the less painful the realization will be. that's all it, and I hope this reaches the right people, and you know, I hope this just makes the world a better place. That's all. It's the only reason why I'm making these videos. Alright, be well.